Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. Today is September 23rd. This look is me questioning if it's the 24th. I do believe it's the 23rd. It's a Friday, so whatever date that Friday is. The 23rd is the 23rd. We're going to play with the first time today. I just remembered I forgot my intro, and I did that in the previous video. Anyway, we're going to use for the first time today Lethal Cosmetics Velvet Dusk Pressed Powder Palette. And I'm looking at this. I see so many different looks. You can do monochromatic with this right here. You can do a monochromatic with this right here. You can do monochromatic these three, or just a simple look with these. This would be a nice look going right here, and yeah, I just stuck my finger in it. And so I'm seeing a lot of looks. I don't want to be simple. I do have a habit. This would be a nice column too, because it's grungier in person, this column right here. And I saw something else earlier when I was looking at it, and I'm thinking that would be really nice. Even for a nice pop, putting these three together, and this on the inner corner. So I'm seeing a lot of looks in this palette, and I'm excited to get into it. I realized when I was sitting here trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with it, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do with it, that the shade names are not on the back, but they're on back of the sleeve. So what I will probably do is I will probably cut this out and tape it on the back of here so that I don't need to keep this. I do not keep packaging. Even Pat McGrath, I don't keep packaging. I don't like clutter. That's why I got labels on everything, so I know what stuff is. And so that is probably what I will do. And I will sit this here so as I'm doing the look, I can at least call out the colors. Again, I have no idea what I'm going to do. We're going to start with eyeshadow primer, and then we're going to come back and we're just going to do a look. We're going to blend this out with a angled concealer brush, the Sephora Pro Stippling Concealer Brush number 52. They do not make this anymore. So we're just going to blend out the primer. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with this palette, and I closed it, which means I'm not even looking at it to figure out or try to figure out what I'm going to do. And I do have brushes already laid out. The concept of the Crazy Troll Nation is the crazy part is just having fun on your channel and enjoying the channels that you watch. The troll part is not caring too much of what the beauty community standards of beauty are, and not falling into you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or even a certain technique, but just doing what you want to do, using whatever you want to use to get your makeup on the way you want it to look, because you need to be happy with how you look. And beneath all of that, the Crazy Troll Nation is about self-acceptance and self-love, loving yourself for who you are and for how you look, which again goes back to not caring too much of what the beauty community says. You need to be happy with who you are. And my hope is that you love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them when you want to, but not feeling like you have to on any given day. Like knowing it's okay to just be barefaced and loving how you look with a bare face. So that's the Crazy Troll Nation. I do curse on my channel sometimes. We're going to take, this is an angled brush, T37 Esom brush, and we're going to go into, oh my gosh, Covet, which is this shade here. I was going to do this one first, but then I think that might make me lean more neutral. So we're going to go into this one here. I'm not sure what this is going to look like. I have a habit of when I use a palette for the first time, I have a habit of being safe, doing a monochromatic look, because I know it's going to look nice. And even if it's not my preference, because I like dark, smoky, bold, or grungy or vampy looks, I find that I do gear towards simple monochromatic looks when I first use a palette, until I have used all the shades in the palette, because then once I know how they perform and whether or not I like them, then I feel like, okay, I can be more adventurous and do other types of stuff and start to layer, experiment with them over base, that type of thing. And I remember saying this in another video, because I was wondering, like, why am I doing all these monochromatic looks when that's really not my thing? And when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to get a feel for the palette. And as I said, I know the looks are going to look nice, and they usually do. So it's just like an easy way for me to use everything in the palette and it looked nice, and for me to get a feel for the palette. That went on really nice. So we're going to put that brush down. We're going to take a Fenty 230 brush, this one, and we're going to take, man, we're going to take this shade here because it's also a shimmer, and this is Revolve, excuse me, and we're going to put that next to this. Oh my gosh. When I blend that, that's going to look nice, trust me, because I can tell, So we're going to sweep in between. Ooh, we're going to overlap it. We're going to pull this over. Ooh, look what that's doing. When I saw this palette, I purchased this the same time I purchased the Berlin 89, because I'm like, that is like a nice grungy color story. Look how that looks though. It looks like a dual chrome, like right in this area where I blended it. You see that? Ooh, look at that. Ooh, okay, let me do the other eye. Yo, I get excited, and I'm not always excited like this when I use new palettes. Oh my gosh, I like this. And I love that it actually said pressed powder palette. And I know it's confusing, pressed powders versus pressed pigments. My eyelids do not tolerate pressed pigments. My eyelids will actually get swollen. My eyeball will swell up. My eyes will tear. My lids will be sensitive to touch. And it's just not good. And so when I saw pressed powder palette, I was like, yes, because I was just going to get the Berlin 89. And I saw this color story, and I was like, oh man. But then when I read what it said, I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that one too. And I'm glad I did. These are really smooth. I am digging what this is doing right here. Ooh. Look at that. It looks like, and I don't know if these are supposed to be dual robes or what. We're going to flip the brush over, and we're going to go into either this one, or do we want to do this one? I think we want to do this one. Yeah, just not to be so matchy-matchy. And that shade is, oh, Corrosion. So we're going to flip the brush over. And I had a different brush out to do outer corner, but I am just, oh. And look how this just goes together with that. So do I want to put the purple on the outer? Oh, I'm glad I got this. And I did find a code somewhere for 10% off. And we're going to sweep just lightly back and forth because I don't want to lose that shimmer. Ooh. I think I want more of that shimmer. We're going to tap back in. And I'm not tapping off because we are putting this on top of a tacky primer. And even just tapping it lightly on my lid, you see this color. Like, it is showing up. This purchase, this and the Berlin 89, was my first Lethal Cosmetics purchase. I know, y'all, I am so slow with stuff. And the thing is that, yes, I know I'm being chatty. With all the new releases, and I know there's channels that stay up on new releases, I don't do that. I want to see, okay, after 3 months, 6 months, are people still using that palette? Or was it just hyped up and then it gets forgotten? And so when I see palettes that are older or released, 6 months or a year ago, and I see people still doing looks, then I'm like, okay, that must be a good one. And what drew me to the Berlin 89 was Martina had posted a look on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that color story is nice. So that's what led me to look on the website. I do tend to stick with what I know because of my allergies to different ingredients. And so it's not often that I try new brands, but when I do and it does this, I'm like, yeah, that's bomb. And so I am excited and happy that I did take a chance on this brand. And I thought it was going to be okay because they are pressed powders instead of pigments. We're going to just dip in just a little bit right here, and we're going to go back to the other side that had the purple because I want to take that purple up just a little bit higher. And there is a shade in here I'm thinking for a transition shade, but I just want some more of that shimmer up here, like right in this area. See what I'm saying? That made a difference. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. And I do have a video up explaining like why so many things from so few brands, and that's why I tend to stick with what I know, because it's really frustrating to get something and have a reaction, and especially smaller brands or indie brands when they don't have a return policy. And I'm not saying take advantage of it or buy and don't like it and send it back, but if I have a bad reaction, I want the option of getting my money back, because even if I sell it, I'm still, you know, I'm still taking a loss for it, you know what I mean? And a lot of smaller brands and indie brands, as I said, don't have return policies, and so that kind of keeps me away. We're going to flip it back to corrosion side and put some right here. I should say some more right there. And so that's why you'll see me with the same brands, and why when I try something new and it works, like now, I'm just like super excited about it. I am digging it. Oh, I just realized too, I didn't do lower lash line, so we're just going to take whatever I picked up, which is a brown. I kind of don't want to do a brown, but that's what I picked up. So we're going to put a brown on our lower lash line. And again, I know I'm being chatty, and I'm hoping that's okay. I think it's okay, because I know some of you watch me when you're doing other things and you're multitasking, and so you don't necessarily have to sit and be like, what's she doing? Because you can hear me speaking and hear what I'm doing and hear what's going on with me in my troll life. That looks so raggedy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a brush. Is this the one I'm going to use later? Yeah, but I need a stubbier brush. We're going to take, not a stubbier one, but a stiff one. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the Makeup Forever number 210 brush. It's a smudger brush. I'm not a fan of pulling your eyes, but I want to blend out some of this liner because it's really jagged. And normally I don't bother blending out the liner because I put shadow on top of it, but this side in particular was just looking really just kind of crazy. Ooh, that looks nice. I need to do this more often. This looks nice. I put down liner as a base, which I used to use concealer. I mean, not concealer. I used to put down additional primer. And then I just got into a habit of using eyeliners because it does add additional color. That looks nice and smoky. I should do this more often, minus the pulling on my eyes. And if you want to wing it out, you can, because I started to by accident. But that would be a nice way to trace out where you want your liner to go for later. Like, just go ahead and blend that up. I am digging this. What? Oh, and I don't always like my looks, but I'm like really feeling this one. So we're going to take, this might be, I want to do this one. In person, this looks really mustard. But then part of me is saying do this one. So do we want to be safe, or we want to just go for the grunge? This is mustardy in person, like seriously. That is beautiful. And this is a gorgeous grungy green in person too. This is a grungy palette, period, but it's not showing up for you how I'm seeing it here. We're going to, damn it, we're going to be safe, and then we'll probably top it with this one. Or we're going to just go for it with this one. We're just going to do it and see what happens. That brush we didn't use, we're going to put away. I'm going to take a Scott Barnes number 61, and that yellow mustard shade is Esteem. And we're going to tap the brush. Why don't I just show you, troll? Not you, troll, me, troll. Just tapping it and coating the edge of the brush. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of nervous. And we're just going to tap along that top edge. Ooh. Ooh. And we're going to lightly sweep. Ooh. I'm realizing too, this is like a full eye tutorial without me chopping it up. So we're going back in. I am digging it. Let me not do too much, because sometimes it be team too much on this troll train. But I am liking this. I'm turning the brush over so I can get the other corner, the shadow on the other corner of the brush. Is there, not there? Very light blending because I wanted it just on that top edge. Because of how these are blended out, I don't feel like I need to do a lot of blending. And if it looks harsh, we can pretend we were trying to do a cut crease. Which we are not, and we're not. And I noticed some of my looks kind of look like that, and I think it's because of, well, not think, I know it's because of how I place my shadows. And so if it looks like that, I'm okay with it. What else I find interesting about eyeshadow looks is that I always hear, you know, cut the crease, concealer, or additional primer, or glitter glue. And don't take this personal if you do this. This is not against anybody. This is just something that I've observed. When I see professional makeup artists, Natasha Denona, Scott Barnes, whoever else, they never cut crease with concealer or eyeshadow primer or any type of additional adhesive. It's just how they place the shadow with whatever brush they're using that makes it look like a cut crease without them using a product to cut the crease, if that makes sense. And so that's something I've noticed, and it goes back to, you know, don't feel like you have to do something because that's what somebody else said. And so if I'm just looking at, like, say if I do a tutorial how to cut the crease, I'm not a professional. And a lot of us on here, and again, I'm not knocking anybody, you know, are we professional makeup artists? But we're doing tutorials and we're showing how to do things. And those who've been in the industry 30 years and that's their actual job, and they're, you know, these huge names, you know, they don't even do the stuff that we're taught to do watching YouTube. And so I just thought that was interesting. I'm really liking that. I'm going to take this brush, it has no shadow on it, and we're just going to do small circular motions. And so that's something to think about too. Like, have you noticed, so this is the question, have you noticed the YouTube beauty community teaches a certain thing that you notice those working in the industry don't do? They get the same effect, but they do it different than how we're taught here on YouTube. So that's the question. I like what that did. You see that mustard color? And the lid looks like a multi-chrome and is not. Oh, Troll did that thing. I do still kind of want to use this purple. I think I'm going to put this underneath the lower lash line, even though that would be safe too. But that's what we're going to do. This is a brush that came in a subscription box that I hadn't used yet. I think it came in Ipsy. This is a LaRouche brush, and it says tapered blending. We're going to go into that light purple shade at the bottom I just showed you, and that shade is called Undone. And we are just going to put this here just to say I finally used this brush. I do have other LaRouche brushes that I purchased, I think, from the BoxyCharm shop. Oh, that's smoky. That's smoky over that brown. And so I was glad to get this because I like the other LaRouche brushes. So I said, if this one is like the other ones, I will like this too. I am digging this look. I want to do something else under here. I'm going to take a tiny bit more and bring that down right here. Off of the brown, beneath the brown is looking pinkish. And I think that's just the true shade of the color, whatever the base of that purple is. Again, that's this color right here. So over the brown it is deeper, which it should be because it's over a darker color. But like right here it's looking pinkish. And I'm actually digging it because I was thinking, should I take a darker color and put it closer to the lash line? But because of how this is blending down, we're going to put that brush down and we're going to go into this brush, not adding any additional color. And we're just going to just buff that because I'm liking how it's blending down into a lighter shade. So you have the darkness here and then the deep purple, and then you have like a pinkish. I'm digging that. I keep meaning to bring my lower lash line color down further because then it will kind of camouflage in a way, like some of the wrinkles, the ones here, like out here it doesn't. But you know, just camouflaging some of the wrinkles. So how many shades did we use? I still kind of want to put this like innermost corner. Sorry for digging in my ear. Ain't that nasty? Look, what the fuck? So we used one, I did wipe my finger off before I started touching the palette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades we used. That is it? This is only 5 shades? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was going to do something on outer corner. That's why I kind of left like a gap right here. But then I could just do a wing liner and let that be my line. That's what I think I'm going to do. If this was darker, which it looks darker in person, but I would put that there. But I am digging the look. So we're going to close this up. I am digging this palette. We're going to use, where is it? MAC Fluid Line and Dip Down, which is brown. I should just use my Fenty whatchamajigget. When does this expire? Oh, I opened this. Oh my! I opened this over a year ago. I opened this August 2021. Damn. This is an Inglot 30T brush, and this one is still intact. My other one, I think I finally threw it away. No, I didn't. Look at this. You see how frayed that is? And so it's hard to get a crisp line. And I keep saying I'm going to throw this one here away because it's just, and so my line always ends up thicker than I want it to be. So we're swirling the brush in. It's not as bad all the time because when you swirl the brush in, it does coat all the bristles, and so it does hold it together. But then once I start applying it, it may spread out. Whereas this one, it keeps it more together. I don't like a thick line on my upper lash line because it takes away from the little bit of lid space that you'll see on my mobile lid. So my mobile lid, all you see is a strip. And if my liner is thick, you won't even see that strip. And that is why, I know you've heard me say it before if you've been here, that's why I take my lid shades up into the crease and also into the transition area, so that when I look straight, you still see all of those colors. If they were just on my mobile lid and I look straight up, all you're going to see is the transition shade until I look down or blink. But then it's such a quick flash. It's like, oh, what was that? So that's why I do my makeup the way I do. If you are new here also, take a look at my video. We're going to try and put this straight up where that space was. A video I did, it was an experiment. I did one look the YouTuber's way and the other look the troll way. The troll way is the way you see me do it here, starting from inside out, lid shades first, and then transition last and all of that, because I really wanted to see. I know I got quiet. I really wanted to see if it really made a difference, and it did really make a difference. And also, I know I always say it, not always, but sometimes, I do my lid shades first because they're sticking directly to the primer. When I do my transition and crease shade first, because of the puffiness on my lids, look at my wings, y'all. And they're not totally eaten up. That was my dryer. Because of the shape of my lids, the transition shade and crease shade ends up on my lid, which doesn't give my lid shade something to stick to. And so that's why I do my lid shades first, because I want those shades to stick and pop like this. So this is me being clumsy. We're going to use Major Pleasure mascara. This came in a subscription box. The brand is Nabla. This is my first time using it. Hopefully, smells like mascara. Hopefully my eyes will like it. I start at the base of my lashes and I wiggle upward and turn the brush as I go. That's how I do my mascara. Tanya from Tanya's Beauty Box. I will tag her below so she'll know I'm talking about her. She also coats going down, and I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. So I'm thinking she just has really long lashes. Because even when I try to go down, like I'm only hitting like the tip of the lashes. And I really like how she does that. And it does make a big difference. But I'm thinking my lashes are just too short to do that. My eye is burning. This does have a scent to it. It just smells like a regular mascara. But my eye is burning from that scent. I like the effect though. So I wiggle at the base and then turn as I come up the lash. And if you're having problems reaching an area, take the tip of it and just spike it. And you can do that, you know, all along the whole lash if you want to. I was going to put it back in and take it back out, and I did not. Usually pulling it out of the tube, I can do the upper and lower lashes, and then I'll put it in and take it back out, excuse me, take it back out to do the other one. What are we going to do for lip? I tried this. I believe it was Jenna R. I will put her name here. Well, I will add her below. That's what I'll do. Excuse me, she was saying that when I did my lip swatch video, and I did talk about it, but I hadn't tried it, and I did try it one day. I said, let me just try this. It was bomb. It was the lip video when I tried the Nima Tang stuff, and I showed them the MAC Keith Haring collab. Excuse me. I did talk about it because that's why I purchased the gloss bomb, the clear one. I believe it's called Glass Slipper, because she said she does a brown liner, she puts on a red lipstick, and then puts on a clear gloss. And I tried it. I was like, so I'm gonna show you. So thank you, girl. Oh my gosh. So this is Dose of Colors brown lipstick. In a way, I want to use this one because this came in the subscription box. I haven't used it yet, but I tried it with this one, which is a chocolate brown. And so I want to get the same look that I got before because it was nice. So we're going to line my lips, and I do just line my lip line. My lips are not even, and wearing a dark lip just accentuates how uneven they are. Also, I just realized about a couple weeks ago that my bottom lip is lighter than my top lip. How come I never noticed that before? I've had these lips my entire life. I've had these lips for 52 years. And I just noticed that like a few weeks ago. Look at my lips though. So this is kind of pinkish and this is more tan. I was just like, why? It just makes me laugh when I notice new things about my features. And I have a video posted pointing out how my face is not symmetrical. So I'm like, this is this, this is that. And after that video, a while after that video, I noticed that my nostrils weren't even symmetrical. And I talked about that in another video. I'm like, I just keep noticing new things. And then there was a video, excuse me, when I noticed even my cheeks, like when I smile, look, this line is way over here. This laugh line is right here. This cheek puffs up here, and this one is more rounded here. So it's like, and I noticed that earlier this year, and I'm just like, you know, doing videos, I'm learning a lot about my facial features, because I was doing a video and I'm like, why is this laugh line here? This one way over here, and this cheek is rounded, and this one just pops up right here. Yo, I'm telling you, it is just kind of funny. And it all goes back to just embracing it. But as far as my lip line, my lips not being even, I don't try too hard to get them even. Because the more I try, the worse it gets, usually. And so it is what it is. So that was, did say what that was. This is, it throws me off. I'm thinking it's red, but this is the blue one. But you know what? I'm gonna try that with blue one day too. The red one is in a black case. So we're gonna put this on. Y'all, this was so pretty. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yes. Nice and vampy. Can I see what I'm doing? No. And because my bottom lip is more pink, it looks brighter than the red on the top lip. So I'm just going along the lip line. I was going to say lash line. And I will clean this off before I put that away. We're going to, where did I put the lip liner? Right here in front of me. So we're going to take the lip liner again. I love how the top lip looks because it's really vampy. The bottom one is more red than I want it to be, so I'm going to take the liner a little further up onto the lipstick. And I think this is what I did before too. I'm loving the top though. Like, I'm loving the top. And that's when I was thinking, like, why is the bottom brighter? And I'm like, duh, because my bottom lip is pink and the top one's not. And so it makes the red look different. So I'm gonna put a little bit more of the lipstick. That looks vampy, y'all. I love this. We're gonna take a little bit more of the brown because the inside of my lips aren't even either. And so I'm noticing how this is like an even darkness. And then it's kind of not right here. And I wouldn't have thought to try this combination. And so thank you, Jenna. Oh my gosh. For suggesting this, because this is nice. I am such a simple person. I just put stuff on, and then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't think about how can I zhuzh it up, how can I make it look better. You know what I mean? And so I do appreciate when you guys give me tips or be like, hey, well, this is how I do it. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that. I'm going to put a little bit more right here. I need to just stop. And she said then she puts a clear gloss on top. I love this like this, though. Does it go with the eye? I don't know. Because to me, this is borderline grungy. This is vampy. And you know what? When I use the Martine Cosmetics 669 palette, the Lethal Cosmetics Berlin 89 palette, and Nomad Cosmetics Haunted Europe palette, depending on the colors I use, this is the kind of lip I'm going to do. And I'm thinking you can even do a black lip liner and put a different lipstick on. And I am going to try it with, I think I'm going to try a black lip liner with the blue. And also either this brown or black lip liner and put the yellow on top just to see what that does. I think that would turn it kind of greenish. I don't know. But we're going to take the gloss and they're going to tap it. This smells so nice. Oh, I was going to dip it back in. I'm getting a cotton swab, cotton square to get the lipstick off of here. And we're going in. You know what I could have did? I could have used the lipstick applicator for this. I took a lot that time. Oh my gosh, girl, thank you. And I know I need to try more things more often. My brain just doesn't think to do that. I am liking it with the eye look. I don't think it really goes with the eye look, but I actually think it does. Now I'm like, keep looking at it. But look at this eye, y'all. Does this look like a dual chrome or a multi-chrome? The way those colors, those shimmers just blend in, and also with that matte shade on the outer corner. And my wings are looking decent too. That grungy mustard transition shade. Look at that shade. Y'all, I am loving this look. Thank you for being here. I know this was long as hell. I doubt if I'll edit anything. You'll know if I do or not. We're at 35 minutes. So if you see this video and it's 35 minutes, Troll ain't edit nothing. I appreciate you being here. I think I just said that. And stuff will pop up for you to watch if you're not sick of seeing me today. And if you have this palette, Lethal Cosmetics Velvet Dusk Pressed Powder Palette, let me know. And if you have any color combination suggestions for this or for lip combinations, because this is fire. I am loving it. I'm babbling. I'm excited. I'm going to go. Thank you for being here and keeping me company, and you will see me soon.